Three, two, one. And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela with another edition of Notes on the News, where are you surprised? Are you shocked? Where I share with you headlines that I have pulled from my news feed to specific notes on the news feed. And we may kick it, we may talk about the headline, we may talk about the subject matter at large, we may talk about the story. Hey, if we've read it or skimmed it or heard about it, we may or we may not talk about it. We may talk about whatever happened to come up for us about the story, about the issue, about the subject matter at large. But as the title says, it's not news. It's just our notes on the news. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of those other good things. Today is the best day ever. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome on the chat. I think I said the channel. I'm Angela. The segment is Notes on the News, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Hit that notification bell because you never know when I'm going live. I already told y'all I don't know when I'm going live, so how you gonna know if you don't hit that notification bell? And there is something with it where you isn't, I don't know how it works, but just keep trying till you get notified. Because some people say if you hit it twice, then that makes it so that you get notified of everything. Some people say if you hit it once, but you got to subscribe first. Some people say if you hit it once, I don't know. It may have to do with your app. Hey, I see. Yeah, I don't know. But let's jump right into the Nguzo Saba for today. Hey, Talisa Ray, it's been so long since I could catch you. Yeah, I've been very erratic. So it's kismet. It's providence that we've met here today together. So whether you are live or catching the replay, feel free to jump in and leave comments. Hey, Sonya sees. And go ahead and drop in the comments or on the stream, the live stream. That will only be between those of us who are on the live stream. Any exciting and positive news that you have going on personally in your life, in your family, in your community, or anything that you've observed in the world that we need to clap it up for. What's up, Kendrick? So yeah, let's just go on and clap now at the beginning. Because sometimes I'll look up, I'll be like, we ain't clapped the whole time. So let's clap for ourselves. Woo! Yes, you! Greetings, Bonafide 1970. What's up? Thank you for the flower. I'm doing fine myself. So what's going on with you? Living, loving, doing the daggone thing. That's what's up with me. Okay, so the principle of today, we cycle through the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. We are reading essays from endarkenment.com. They have Kwanzaa principles, and we're reading them a paragraph at a time. I think this is our second time looping through. It's good for all of us. Living and loving and being happy and thriving and all of that is good for all of us. When we see each other doing well, it's good for all of us. When we see each other fight, it's good for all of us. When we see each other win, it's good for all of us. So keep fighting, keep winning, keep living and loving, because it's good for all of us. We need you. Peace to the chat room. So I think this is our second time cycling through the essays. I think that the first time I made the mistake of trying to read one essay per get together, and then at some point we switched over to one paragraph per get together. So we are still on the second principle of Kwanzaa. In English, it means I am happy every day. It don't matter what my problem. That's right. That's right. Yes, be happy. And thank you for the like, whoever liked. Everybody subscribe. And so the second principle is self-determination to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. If not you, who gonna do it other than you? Okay. And the Swahili, actually I did like that video. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. The Swahili term is kujichagulia. or Kiswahili. Is it Swahili? I think it's Kiswahili when you're referring to the language. So Kujichagulia means self-determination. I love it. I love the way it sounds. Kujichagulia. It just rolled off my tongue. It make me feel even more African. It's spelled Kujichagulia. Did you go to Africa? Kujichag. Oh, look at you putting it in the feed. Bonafide Kujichagulia. No, I haven't been to Africa yet. I'm looking forward to it. Are there 53 or 54 countries in Africa? Because I would like to visit. A lifetime goal, a bucket list goal is to visit every single country. 54. So are you counting South Sudan in that list? Is South Sudan like officially a country now? That's what I've been trying to figure out when we look. So anyway, so no, I haven't been yet. Yes, you count South Sudan. Okay. Okay, so I count the South Sudan too, if you counting it, I guess. So no, I haven't. I have a trip scheduled for Costa Rica this year. Looking forward to that. The closest that I've been to, hey, Rowdy Chica, welcome on the chat. Thank you, Bonafide and Rowdy, for moderating. The closest that I've been to the African continent is I was in India. And I mean, I've been all over the Caribbean. I mean, I grew up in Detroit. That's like Africa. I mean, shoot. I lived in Harlem, Brooklyn. I lived in Bed-Stuy. Detroit, do or die, Bed-Stuy. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I mean, come on now. That's Africa. Okay, so this is the last paragraph of the essay on Kujichagulia. Later on, if we lose our place, if we need to take a breather, if you don't know what good news to put in for yourself personally, just put in Kujichagulia. Just type that up. Just Kujichagulia. We don't know what to say today. We just gonna say Kujichagulia. Self-determination. Africa, America. Kujichagulia. Look at you spelling it right and everything. Look at us. We all like learning Swahili and stuff through the Kwanzaa guy, Dr. What's his name? Maulana Karanga. Do Dr. Karanga in the peoples. Okay. So this is the last paragraph. And to answer the question of am I all that I ought to be is to self-consciously possess and use ethical and cultural standards which measure men, women, and children in terms of the quality of their thoughts and practice in the context of who they are and must become, in both an African and an human sense. So who are you and who must you become in an African sense? Who are you and who must you become in a human sense? Self-consciously possess and use ethical and cultural standards to determine who am I and am I all that I ought to be, which measure men, women, and children in terms of the quality of our thought and practice in the context of who we are and who we must become. I feel like that's a paragraph I need to like break down and study and analyze. I'm just going to read it again. Maybe it'll sink in. Okay. And to answer the question of am I all I ought to be is to self-consciously possess and use ethical and cultural standards, which measure men, women, and children in terms of the quality of their thoughts and practice in the context of who they are and who they must become in both an African and a human sense. All right, so we just gonna let that rest. We gonna let it marinate. We gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, ha ha! This is what they was trying to say on endarkenment.com about Kujichagulia. Because right now I'm just kind of like, did you get it? What you get? What you get from it? All right, so moving on to the next segment, drop it in the comments. Moving on to the next segment is you look beautiful today, Angela Ayapo Yapa. Hey, what's up, Ayapa? We got 3 moderators on the line. Mas, happy Monday, family. What up, Max Evans? So we're moving on to the segment that's called Yo Buddha, what up, though? And we're going to see if the Buddha have anything to say. Because I'm going to tell you, this last paragraph of Endarkenment, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Oh, I was going to say, where's my good news, if you want to call it news, is that I recently combined my locks, making them much thicker. Or that's good news. I remember when I had locks and it was like my hair was like people would ask me questions like, are you ever going to cut your locks? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't make any decision about it. Like my hair was like a thing. And even when I cut my locks, it was like, you cut your locks. Like it was like a thing. And when I had a perm, my hair was a thing. Like, oh my gosh, bye everyone. Where you going, Kendrick? Don't go. We just got here. Bye. Thanks for stopping by. And even when I had a perm, it was like, oh my God, what if the people see that oops. What if the people see that I have nappy hair? What if the people see my kitchen? What if the people, it was kind of like a big, like, what if the people find out that I'm African? What's going to happen? The people will know that I'm black because I got nappy hair. It was like a production, like, getting a perm, going to the shop, nappily ever after. Right, getting the perm, going to the shop, wrapping my hair, growing my hair, taking care of my hair. I never got into flat iron because I think I must have been I'm like the wrong generation for flat iron. I didn't start seeing flat irons till recently, but curling my hair with the hot curlers before I had a perm, with the straightening comb, my grandmother used to straighten it, begging my mother to give me a perm because my mother cut my hair off because she said, oh my God, you're so cute with a little fro. And it was like, I just had to beg and plead for a perm. Hair is a thing for Black women no matter what. Cutting it off is so liberating. It was liberating for me. I remember some of the people, like the first time, like my best friend cut my hair off, and it was like, I just felt so free. Like I could just feel it in the back of my neck, which is really like, it's like right here. It was just like my kitchen was just like, woo. And I was like, oh, what? It was like very, it was wonderful. But some people were, for me too, sis, some people I remember, as I was going through that process the first time, because I think I've shaped, well, for a minute, my hair is like a spiritual antenna. It's not about looks for me. It's about function. Ooh, yeah. And they say our spirals, stand up and receive messages from the universe. But some of the women, I remember talking to some women who were like, the worst thing I ever did was cut off my hair. The worst thing I ever did was cut off my perm. I had all this good hair and I cut it off. Now I had at different times a head full of hair, natural, unnatural. Unnatural. The perm is just unnatural. But yeah, it was liberating for me because it was stressful. And then it's kind of like, dang, I remember years ago I had seen somebody's hair, like the edges of somebody's hair, when I went to Cedar Point. I might have told y'all this. And they had on a cap because, when you go to Cedar Point, that's like an amusement park in Ohio. When I was a kid, we go to it. When you go to Cedar Point, it's like all exciting, like, ooh, and you might sweat out your hair or something. So she had on a cap. And I remember seeing her naps around the edge, and it was like, wow, her hair is so pretty. I remember thinking that, like, I wish my hair looked like that. Now, I didn't know what my hair looked like. I just knew I was ashamed of it, and it was nappy. And I also knew, now, this is something that I also knew. I knew that when my grandmother would straighten out my hair and straighten out my cousin's hair, she would make me go and sit down someplace, go sit down and take a nap. And then she learned not to tell me to take a nap because I sweat in my hair. So if I took a nap and I sweated in my head, then my hair would revert back. And when I got a perm, I had to get like the strongest of the strongest perm. And it was like my hair was just so resistant to being straight. But when I saw her I was like, oh my gosh, her hair is so pretty. I just remember thinking that, like, I'm loving the transparency moment. Yeah. I just remember thinking her hair is so pretty. I wish my hair was like that. And I had when I started like, getting to know my hair, I'm like, oh, I like my hair too. My old nappy hair. See, it's different now because it's gray, and they say that grayness is a problem. Our sisters really need to stay away from perms and various other chemicals. It's doing so much psychological. Oh, no, you didn't say psychological. You mean like physiological, like, like putting all them chemicals on your head, like on your brain, like on your scalp. Woo, that's intense. That's intense. That it's deep. I think this whole hair thing is just really, really deep. I was watching this piece on YouTube earlier today about Germans in black folks in Germany. Um And I never really thought about Germans as colonial imperialists, like that whole thing, and like which countries they had colonized. And, it's kind of like I really don't know very much about that region of the world at all, or that country in particular. Um, but the woman whose piece it was, she had like her hair straightened at the beginning, and they showed her straightening her hair, and then they showed her going to a natural hair salon, and like they were like, oh girl, we love you, you're great, we see you on TV, you're wonderful, it's wonderful to see a Black German, but girl, we got to do something about your hair. And I was like, what are they going to do to her hair? And they let her curls free, and I was like, oh, it was so pretty. It's just like, that is so beautiful. And then it was like one guy who was like, he's Black, but his friends growing up, people would call him Nigger, the German equivalent of it. And he'd be like, what? And he'd get upset, and they'd be like, well, your hair is straight, so you're not really a Nigger. And he's like, wait a second, I'm dark enough for you to call me the name, but then I'm not, my hair is straight. So, the bloodstream and the skull itself, right? But my hair is straight, so I'm not legitimately, and like, what's going on, right? And that I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that sometimes they do autopsies of us with our perms, and it's like green gunk, chemical mess, just sitting on our brains. How are we gonna think with the chemicals on our brains? It's a mess. This whole system. It's a mess. Every moment of clarity that we can get, every as Ayapo talks about separation, every inch of separation that we can get, any way that we can separate ourselves from this system, from the system of like not being ourselves, not taking care of ourselves, not loving ourselves, not being natural, not drinking enough water, not eating enough, like everything that we can do that puts us more and more alignment with our natural, your natural self, is just a blessing. It's like blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Because we need every bit of separation from the mess and confusion, and every bit of attachment to truth and right and good and God and love. Right, says Ayapo Yapo. Okay. So let's see what the Buddha is saying. Periati daily words of the Buddha for October 16th. Y'all know today is the 15th, though. This is just early. Today is the 15th, right? Okay. Speak not harshly to anyone. Bona fide. None of it is even necessary. Our sisters are incredibly beautiful when they are their natural self, says Bona fide. Absolutely true. Everybody, we should all just be who we are. Get back to Black. Yes. But it's like we're so like, it's such a struggle to just like find and honor and embrace and be yourself. I mean, I think even for white folks in this context, there's like a separation from like truth and good and God. But yeah, definitely we be confused as I'm like, woo! But anyway, okay, this is what the Buddha has to say. Oh no, wait, what happened? Habargani, is that Habargani? What's the word for today? Speak not harshly to anyone, for those thus spoken to might retort. Indeed, angry speech hurts, and retaliation may overtake you. So he basically saying, if you speak mean to somebody, you know how they say don't start none, won't be none. You might start something and then it's something, and then you be like, dang, why did I say that? Because they retorted and they hurt my feelings. That's how I feel. I don't like to play no hitting people in the head with pillows and all of that, because I'm always the one who get hit in the corner of my eye with a pillow. I don't want nobody throwing no balls at me. What's that game where they throw balls at you and try to hit you? I don't want to throw no balls at nobody and try to hit them, because they always gonna be the one to hit me. I'm always gonna be, so I'm not gonna be out here saying no nasty things to somebody, because then somebody say something nasty to me and I'd be like, oh, dodgeball. I don't like dodgeball. I don't like playing the dozens, because I'm not quick-witted like that. I'm gonna lose. They might retort. Don't speak harshly to anyone, because they might retort. Indeed, angry speech hurts, and retaliation may overtake you. Now, he's also saying that you might get just in a vibration of it just overtaken. So, you start saying some stuff and people are like, oh, I just said that in anger. I dish it out because I can take it, says Diabo. Right? I don't dish it out because I can't take it. I try to be nice to people. That's what I take. I'm like, don't be trying to be mean to me. I don't want to get my little feelings hurt out here. And you get overwhelmed with the madness and the retaliation just overtake you. It was something I was going to say. But anyway, that's the Buddha. Words are action. Words are action. Yes, they are. Sonia sees. Words are action. And words are important. Words are significant. Tennis, not dodgeball. Same here. Okay, so let us proceed to the news feed. And we probably gonna be finished in like about 5 or 10 minutes because I was just here 2 days ago. So it ain't been nothing happening. And today is Monday. Y'all know don't nothing happen on the weekends. So we gonna be finished like that. Words are energy. Yes, words are energy. Words are vibration. What is the vibration? What's the energy? What are the actions and the words that we're speaking and the thoughts that we're thinking? Are we feeding ourselves and each other? Nah, sit down, stay a while. I got to go. Simone Biles calls out USA Gymnastics interim president for anti-Nike tweet. So I think we might have talked about this the other day. I didn't realize it was like an anti-Nike tweet. This whole Nike thing and Kaepernick thing is really just very interesting to me because I feel like Kaepernick has like his whole thing is like a subtle vibration, like how I think I heard that like sometimes he might have on socks and his socks might say F you. I don't know. His socks might say something and he won't just like be walking around with his pants pulled up, like pointing to his socks. You just might happen to see him sit down and like happen to notice his socks. And it's like, it's a subtle thing. He ain't out here just doing the most, saying the most. It's like, oh, I'm just going to kneel. He ain't had no press conference before and say, I'm going to kneel because blah, 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 blah. He sat down and eventually it became a kneel. But I mean, it's just like this idea of like subtle things and like the big impact that subtle things can have. I remember the first time that I took a yoga class, I had to take phys ed in college. And so I took yoga class and I was really, really surprised because, you sit in my first yoga class, I ended up doing different types of yoga over the years, but you just do like this. And then you do like this. Like hold this for 30 seconds, hold this for 30 seconds. And then it's like the next day or a couple, like, the next day and the day after, I would notice that I was sore. And it was like, I didn't really do anything. It was like the subtlety. It's like the movement of energy. Sometimes subtle things can move energy in significant ways. That's what I'm trying to say. And I feel like that's that Kaepernick thing. It's a real, to me, it's like a real subtle vibration, and I feel like let that be a lesson to us. Like I feel like there is a time and there's a place for subtlety, and like some of us, our specialty is subtlety. But don't undervalue, don't sleep on subtlety. That's how I feel. So I think Bella might have I'm gonna let the windows down and I'm gonna let the windows back up because she's sitting here like didn't nothing happen. So the interim president of USA Gymnastics, I guess they had put a tweet up saying they don't like Nike because of Cap. I guess I don't really know, but that's what I'm thinking. That's the story I made up in my head. And so they took the tweet down, but not before Simone and other people see it. I've been thinking that instead of kneeling, those football players should take the John Carlos route and throw up a black fist. Right. Let it out, Bella. Like they say, it's more room out than in. Yeah, I think it's all like I guess I like I kind of feel like it's all good because it's funny. It's really, I don't know, funny is the word, but it's really significant to me how like just very upset the people are about the people kneeling. I can't believe they're kneeling. Why? I mean, what did they do? Did they shoot your mama in her house? Did they shoot your grandchild in the yard? Did they shoot, your brother on the street for selling Lucy's? I mean, what exactly did they do by kneeling that's just so like upsetting and disturbing to you? I mean, I just like it's just really significant to me that that is really bothering you. Like yeah, I just so I kind of feel like, you know, and I'm just I keep saying this. I'm to see athletes doing anything. I'm just like not that black fist, but all of it, because it's kind of like them kneeling. I think some people interpret it as like them kneeling is like the same as them like throwing the finger up or throwing the fist up and being like, black people unite and overthrow the white system of white supremacy. I think that's how they interpret it. Like I think that's like, like one thing is happening in there. Remember when was it Key and Peele who had the little comedy skit show, and they had the interpreter for Obama. So Obama would be like, they love their symbol of oppression and hate it when we don't bow down to them, says a yappa yappa. Sonya sees it's such a submissive, peaceful protest. Right. And they like all up in their feelings about that. And so they had the interpreter. So like, in their little skits, Obama would get up and be like, hello, today is a good day. And then the Obama interpreter would be like, F you, whitey, we can't stand your behind or whatever. And that's what it's like. It's like the people kneel down, and then through the filter of the other people, they like seeing something that's like not submissive or peaceful at all. They just mad. I ain't even really want to talk about all of that, but to say Simone Biles, and I think this whole Simone Biles thing is interesting. Now, I'm confused about the black gymnast. I'm gonna tell you that very honestly. I don't know who's who. There was a Debbie Thomas many years ago. She's a lighter skinned woman, and I kind of know who she is. But for some reason, these last two girls, I don't know who they are. It would be different if they kneeled and then walked off the field, but they're taking that same knee that they're kneeling on, getting out on the field and putting it at risk of getting dislocated, says Bonafide 1970. Right, and they head that they used to decide to kneel, they putting it on the field for it to get kicked in, beat in, knocked around, so that they have, what is it called when you shake your brain? It's not the same as shaking baby syndrome, but it's like shaking football or shaking boxer syndrome, and your brain get discombobulated. They taking that same brain out there to get discombobulated too. Okay, what is it called? They did the movie. Wasn't Will Smith the doctor? I never saw that movie, but everybody been talking about it lately. So Simone Biles, I'm just kind of like I'm interested in them because I think of gymnasts as like very like conservative and like, I mean, I think of athletes as like very much like I love the country. I don't know. I don't really have like a high opinion of athletes. I feel like they're so focused on their athleticism that they've been underdeveloped in a lot of other ways. CTE, traumatic, dang, I thought I was going to say traumatic brain injury, CTE. Nah, but anyway. Russian minister offers land as a prize on Instagram. So he was trying to get his numbers up. He was clout chasing. That's what the children say, clout chasing. He was clout chasing. And he like, if you tag a friend and then say what you think the prize is, you'll get entered to win the prize. And he was giving out land in the Far East, like Eastern Europe, in the Far East. And this land that they say is beautiful, but it's uninhabited. I guess that's where the people from South Africa are going to go, to the Far East, because they got magic. They got magic in their hands, these white folks, and they can just make something from nothing. So they're going to go, maybe they're going to go over to the Far East and, like really just turn things around for them. But anyway, meanwhile, in Russia, they trying to get people to go over there. So they giving the land away to people, according to this article. Like, if you go over there, hey, you can have this land for free because ain't nobody over there. It ain't no roads. It ain't no electricity. which is cool. If you want to live off grid, you can live off grid. But I mean, everybody don't want to do that. But that's why they giving the land away free. So he was offering, he was giving land away as a prize to people on Instagram. And the people were like, why are you giving, first of all, you giving away land that's supposed to be promised to other people. And I think he like, there's plenty of land that people don't want it. So it's cool. And then they like, why are you giving out prizes that people don't want anyway? I don't even know why I thought that story was interesting. The headline caught me and then I skimmed it and I got a little chuckle or something from it. Apple donates 1,000 watches to eating disorder study. I guess it's like a study of people who have bulimia or something like that. Now, I don't know what the watches are. I guess because a lot of people like to use these devices to track, their eating and movement and all of that kind of stuff. I'm kind of out of the loop with that whole system. I'm not familiar with what's going on with it. Like these fitness trackers and all of that. I guess it's like a pedometer. It can count how many steps you walk. It can also count your heart rate because they've been catching murderation through these systems. Her heart rate went up drastically and then it stopped. That's how come we know that's when she got murdered. And you murdered your daughter, sir. Wasn't that like a 90-year-old man who murdered his 70-year-old daughter or something? It was some mess or confusion. And they used the fitness tracker. I don't know if they figured it out, but I think if it was a movie or a TV show, they figured it out from the fitness tracker. But that's what they were trying. So I don't know what Apple, they done donated 1,000 watches. I'm assuming that they're donating it. The watches might watch them. I was going to say, says Bonafide. I'm assuming that they're donating it because they figure it's good publicity for them. Here we are talking about Apple. The people are going to get the watches. They're probably going to want to upgrade. They're probably going to want to buy apps. I just figure these companies ain't doing nothing for nothing. Hurricane Michael adds hardship of, wait. Hurricane Michael adds to hardship of Florida's poor. Asked the chairman of Apple if the watch could tell time. He said, damn, I knew I forgot something. It says, yappa. You made that up, didn't you? That's not a true story. That didn't really happen. I kind of feel like that kind of headline, I mean, it just seems like it's obvious to me that like the poor people, what's going on? Is it the sun? It's like I'm getting washed out. I guess it's good. It's like a flattering wash. It's like candlelight. Okay, we'll talk by candlelight. We'll talk by sunlight. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's been kind of like rainy and cloudy, and now the sun is coming out, and it's really quite beautiful. It's really quite beautiful. But okay. So it just seems like it goes without saying that if you're poor and something happens, that it's going to be harder on you than someone who has more money than you. It seemed like it go without saying that if you're a woman and it's bad for people, it's going to be worse for you for the most part. It seemed like it go without saying that if you black and something happened, it's bad for you than for other people for the most part. Now there are times when being black and being a woman can be an advantage. I'm not trying to be that's just real. But in a lot of these systems it's like no. And definitely I don't know when it's an advantage to not have money. I guess when they come and they rob the people and take their money and you ain't got no money, you like, hey, I'm where I was. When the depression came for the white people and the black people were already used to living a certain way, and the white people was jumping off of buildings and stuff because they was depressed because the depression came. The black people was just kind of like, life goes on. It's cool. I'm cool. You cool. We cool. So I guess that's an advantage. You could get practice and be resourceful and resilient and look at things differently. And I can, but there have been times when I have been like bare bones and I have really come to like prioritize in my head more and more what I really value and what's really, really important to me. And when I didn't have to make those choices, I didn't make those choices. But see, when I had to make those choices, I made them. And I feel like my quality of life at core did not suffer. And that's something right there. Because before that, I would have thought, oh my gosh, if I don't have this amount of money, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I have to have money. So, maybe there is some advantage to being to poverty. Hillary Clinton. Bill's affair was not an abuse of power. Monica Lewinsky was an adult. I feel like she was just barely an adult. And I always say this, I can't stand when they start talking about Monica Lewinsky and then they making jokes about her and all of this stuff. Now, I don't know her. I'm not necessarily a fan of her, but I just feel like, first of all, that child was like 22 years old, 18, 19. She was young. Do y'all know any 22? Like, they're young. They're young. And this man, how old he, 45, 50? That's disproportionate. Our phones watch, listen, track us. Have you ever noticed ads that show up based on what you said? No. Where you've been or what you might have written. It happens to me all the time, says Bonafide. No, I just noticed like what I type in, it shows up, but not based on what I've said. Poverty is a powerful aphrodisiac, says Sonia C's. Dang, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so what? Yeah, first of all, the child is like young. She's way younger than him. So I feel like there's obviously a power disparity there from my perspective. And then he is the president of the United States. And she's an intern. I feel like even when I interned in offices, and I never interned in the president's office, whoever was like the boss, it was like, oh my gosh, they're the boss. Even when I was an employee, almost all of my bosses were like, oh my God, they're the boss. I even had one person that I worked with who I really considered him a colleague, but I just had so much respect and admiration for him. And I even had a crush on him. His girlfriend worked in the office with us. She was a social worker. I had the biggest crush on him, and we would like flirt and laugh and have a good time. He never crossed any lines. I had such, like, I feel like he could have probably taken advantage of me if he was oriented that way. I guess, I don't know. I mean, I did have a crush on him because I just really, really admired him. But yeah, I feel like this man was the president of the United States, and this child is an intern in his office. He is the president of the United States. This child's too, like, I feel like, of course, it's an abuse of power. Is that what she said? It wasn't. I feel like, girl, boo, please. That's just was not an abuse of power. Painting of Trump amongst past presidents seen at the White House. Now, I had seen clips of this on Twitter and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I skimmed this article today, and it's like, it's a painting. And I'm like, oh, all of the people in the picture is past presidents. Where's the biracial one? He ain't in the picture. But when I read the article, it was like all of the past, like maybe it was like 5 or 10 white men who were Republicans. And I guess the paint was really happy to see his work in the president's office. Someone had bought it and given it to the president, but he's like, a lot of times gifts are going to end up, especially, when you're very powerful and people give you gifts, they just end up in the closet. Like, even I've gotten gifts where I'm just like, oh, gee, thanks. Even though I love a gift, but I'm just saying it just kind of end up in the closet. Y'all heard of regifting? Was that pioneered by Seinfeld, regifting? But you get gifts and you be like, so he was happy. The artist was like, oh my gosh, I'm happy to see my work that's being shown. And it's like, but also there was another painting that he did, which was like all of the Democratic presidents, 5 or 10 of them, and you could see Obama's biracial behind, like, sitting up. He was kind of front and center in the frame that I saw. So when I first saw, whatever, I was like, rrr. But then I was kind of like, in a way, happy for the artist. I don't know why, but I was just like, oh, and the artist is like, here's my Democratic one. If anybody want to buy my stuff. I don't know who he is, but I always root for the artist unless they buttholes, but I don't know him. But just like on GP, because he's an artist, I was like, he happy his work is being seen. Deadly flash floods hit southwest France Aubais region. So prayers out to the people who, made their transition during the flash floods. It's a lot going on in the world in the Aubais region of France. They say they got like a month's worth of rain and like, hours or whatever. So it was kind of like quick and sudden and unexpected. Like that type of event, like a tower. If you were a tarot card person, it's like a tower type event, or like Neptune, Uranus. No, Uranus. Is it Uranus? I think it's Uranus, the planet, sudden and unexpected. That's weird that I don't know. I think it's Uranus. I got regifted a box of chocolates. It would have been all right if they hadn't eaten them before giving them to me, says Ayapo Yapa. I don't even know what to say to that. Hey, Bondi Gaming. Hey, Nikki. Yay. The gang's all here. I feel like some of y'all I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Hey. Cook County judge set bond for Florida man accused of cutting off another man's penis. Okay, so first of all, these are like grown people. They not like old people, but they 27, 26, 28 years old. So the one man has come from Florida to Atlanta, I think, because I to cut off he attacked his ex his I can't even put it together because I'm just like, I know we not out here cutting off people's penises because our girlfriends moved on. We got to move on. We can't be out here. So he done flown from Florida, I think, to Atlanta or wherever, found the man, beat him down, cut his penis off, took the penis, threw it someplace, and then wrote his name on the man's thigh, then drugged the man out the way. It's not a Lorena Bobbitt. No, it's not Lorena Bobbitt. It's a man. It's man on man. I can't even put it together. No, I mean, I'm just like, we can't be out here. Y'all can't now. If the woman done moved on and she got a new boyfriend, you just have to like let that go. Like, you can't be out here. I was just like, that's kind of intense. And then, of course, he's from Florida. Is this some gay mess? I don't think it's gay. I think that he mad because his girlfriend or the woman he was dealing with has moved on. It's coming off of the grill. Oh, it's coming off of the grill. Let that go. Peter Bobby. It's coming off of the grill. So these are probably black folks. I was just shocked enough that it was any folks. Like, that's extreme. That's very extreme. I'm just like, and I think this man who he cut the man's penis off, this man is like almost like, I don't know if he even gonna survive. So prayers out, prayers out to him who has who's got attacked. Prayers out to the, no, that's some gay mess. Just prayers out to all of us that when the skit is over, let the skit be over. Mental health issues are mental health issues are real. Yeah, when it's over, just let's just, keep it moving. And pray for balance and sanity. These are black people. It's coming off of the griot. That's what I'm saying. I just realized it was coming off the griot. I thought it's okay to be white. Bill defeated in Australian Senate. Stephen Hawking warned of future superhumans threatening the end of humanity. He like all of these design snippety snip says Ayapon. Stephen Hawking's now I guess they're publishing stuff they can sew it back on. The man threw the penis someplace. I think he was trying to be like, no, they're not sewing it back on. I think he threw it away, or I don't remember. I'm not even gonna look at that article again because it was I was gonna be like, let me see what he did with it, but I think I've talked about it too much. So Stephen Hawking is like, we're trying to, that's horrible. It is horrible. Stephen Hawking is like, we making all these designer babies and designer people, all these superhumans, us regular people, we gonna become extinct. What did he say? Threatening the end of humanity. Uncharacteristic of black folk, says Vandy Gaming. Well, maybe it's just when they threw it, he said, here, fetch boy. They can use search dogs to find it. Oh, Lord. Maybe the griot was just so shocked by the story that they published it, just like I was so shocked by it. I read it. I see. um so Stephen Hawking is like, y'all, you creating your own demise with all these superhumans is threatening the end of humanity. Now that Stephen Hawking has made his transition, I think I heard it seemed like within the last week that they published a paper that he had written. It seemed like it was on black holes or something, but I guess a lot of his stuff is being, getting, attention now. You were shocked? Imagine how he felt, says Yapo Yapa. Right. Exactly. Because I'm just, and I mean, I don't know if he called the man. Did he call the man and be like, yeah, I got your woman. And, I be doing the do with my poo to poo. And the man is like, oh, I'm coming to get your poo to poo. Now how you going to do the do? Like, yeah, I, I can't even imagine what happened and why. St. Louis woman who blocked a black man from entering apartment building fired. I hadn't heard of this story, but I guess the guy lived in an apartment building. The woman is like, what are you doing? Stop. She kind of worked for the apartment or for the company that owned the building or something. Even when the man had his key and went on in his apartment, he ran up on him like, how? She was trying to block the man from getting into his apartment. No, that sounds feminine. I don't know women who do. I don't know where people begin. So I don't understand this because I feel like the women I know be like, okay, you don't want me, bye. Like I'm moving on. Like who out here chasing people down, cutting off parts of them and just move on. But again, I think that whole mental health point is a good point. But anyway, so this woman in the Lou in St. Louis, she blocked the man from entering. We're creating our own demise with supercomputers and AI, says Bonafide 19. Forget superhumans. So you cut. That's a wrap, says Ayapo Yapa. So I guess the company that owns the apartment building saw the video because I guess somebody videoed it. It's the age of videoation. And she done lost her job. And I kind of feel like that's good. I don't know. I just that guy forgave that Becky. Oh, he did. The one who ooh, it's all warm because it was behind me. Ooh. So she lost her job. And I just kind of feel like, I guess it seemed like it's so easy for things to escalate and for people to lose their life and get attacked over people harassing people and not minding their business. And just like, it's like, you can't just be black and live. Like, back up off me. Like y'all already done, stole our lives, stole our culture, stole our vaginas, stole our time, stole our energy, stole our dignity. Like just back up. Just dang, like it's just y'all ain't stole enough. Y'all ain't got enough. I guess he'll allow her to move in with him, says Nikki. Oh Lord. Dude had to do some crazy skit. Okay, so that's that. Brooklyn Witches host event. She followed a strange, suspicious guy to his apartment. Right. That's like the woman, they be, oh, I was so scared. Oh, the gay guy that was in the back of the thing. He's so scared. But he's not leaving. It's like, if you're scared and you feel threatened, then carry your behind on. Like, why are you following somebody to their apartment if they're strange and suspicious? I haven't watched that video yet. It would make me too angry. I didn't see the video. I just read the article. Okay, but listen to this. I'm stuck on this article. Brooklyn Witches host event to hex Justice Brett Kavanaugh while GOP group spends over $100,000 supporting him. Shakes SS, same skit, different day, says Ayapo Yapa. Now, what I thought was interesting about that is I kind of feel like, and I had heard this like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, some people who like were into voodoo or whatever, the video is everywhere. I just haven't seen it. Some people who were like into voodoo and stuff, they were saying that they're gonna like, use their juju or their magic, like get stuff straight in society. And I'm like, well, good. I think that you should. I feel like if I was a witch, I feel like if I believed in hexing, I should be out here hexing the people who I think need to be hexed. Apparently that woman was just another resident of the apartment. She didn't work there. She just lived there. Oh, well, it seemed like in the article that they were saying that she worked for the company that owned the apartment. Now, maybe she wasn't in her official work capacity for the company. She was just in her official work capacity for white supremacy when she was harassing the man. I don't really know. And I feel like, yeah, I don't even think it's really a win for her to lose her job. I feel like the least she could do is lose her job. But like, I feel like that could have been life threat. Like, I just feel like it's not really like, just leave, just back up, back up, back up. But I think the Brooklyn witches, or whoever the witches are, whatever magic, whatever prayer, all of whatever you got, I feel like we should be using it, trying to enlist the support of God, whomever. Her estranged husband turned out to be half black, to set things straight, to get things right. That's how I feel. So yeah. um oh, oh, I gotta Brian Adams concert photograph shows off Delhi pollution. I don't know who Brian Adams was, or whoever the guy is who's having a concert, but he's like, wow, look at this effect. I've never seen anything like it. It was pollution, but the pollution is so bad, they say, in India and in other parts of the world, that it's like, what we thought was like, wow, this is really spooky and cool. It was like, oh, it's just pollution. And somebody was like, well, the pollution is good for something. Brown University renames building to honor Inman Edward Page and Ethel Tremaine Robinson. Brown University renames building to honor two trailblazing graduates. So I don't know who they were. I think they might have been the first openly black folks, or people who obviously were unambiguously black or whatever, to graduate from Brown University. I like Brown University because their name is Brown. It seems like of all the Ivies, it's like the less prestigious, but it seems like the most progressive. None of the practitioners of voodoo have utilized to handle the George Zimmerman, so I don't take them too seriously. Knock, knock. Who's there? UCLA. UCLA. Who? UCLA when the smog lifts. Says Ayapo Yapa. That was kind of funny. I actually got it too. Yeah, that's what's up at Brown University. I don't know the names. I don't know who these people are. But we'll just say their names. Inman Edward Page and Ethel Tremaine Robinson. Congratulations. They say that they were selective about what building they chose to name after them. I was kind of surprised that they were naming a building after black folks, because usually, in my experience, buildings get named after people who are donating serious money. I don't think these people or their family are donating money. I think that Brown just calls themselves trying to do the right thing. I think they're progressive in the context of Ivy League colleges and universities, but I mean, not Ivy League colleges and universities, Ivy League universities and colleges. But I mean, how progressive can you be? Like, as an Ivy, like, it's like you're a progressive white supremacist as far as white supremacists go. I mean, like, I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting story. I'd like to know more about it. I love corny jokes. Wish I could take credit. That's an old one, says Ayapo Yapa. So that's what's up at Brown. Little Rock Police Department is under fire for reportedly issuing over 100 bogus search warrants. Now, my theme for the last month or whatever has been like tip of the iceberg. I just figure if we see in a story about 100 bogus search warrants, then it's a million gazillion out there. And we already know how the justice system works when it comes to us. None of us are like surprised or confused, right? That a lot of the stuff is lies and deceit and untruths and some bullshit, and just designed to keep us in the system of them being able to take advantage of our labor for free. in trying to control our bodies and our minds and our spirits. So yeah, tip of the iceberg. The lies, the lies, the lies. They just lie, 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 lie. The dark side, that's not really funny. The lies, the lies, the lies. I'm just laughing because the lies, the lies, the lies is a reference to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And they just lie, you just lie, 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 is a reference to Underground. And I just have this dream that one day, and I don't even know what I would do with a meme, but I just feel like I would like to, like, I don't even edit my videos, but like if I edited my videos, I like insert that in periodically. Like it, I want them like woven together, like the lies, the lies, the lies. They just lie, 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 lie. Or maybe it'd be like they just lie, 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 lie. The lies, the lies. You know, I just have this dream of like having that. And then I could like insert it into videos in my head because I don't edit them in real life. And it could just be like the lie. I think I want it the other way. Just lie, 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 lie. That's the guy from Empire. He was on Underground. The gay guy from Empire, which I haven't seen in a couple of seasons. So yeah, I'm just laughing because I keep having this dream of this. It's not really called a what is it called when it speaks? Because it's a meme, but do memes speak? I want it to speak. To, you know, the dark side of tourism in Thailand. So they were basically saying, hey, Thailand is a really, really nice place to visit, except for, you know, the sex slavery, the child sex, the predator, the, you know, all of the awful things that happen to people. And that just kind of tripped me out. It's kind of like, you know, he's a really nice person, except for that he, you know, if you just forget the fact that he beat people and killed people and raped people. I mean, that's a really nice house I like to go, sex tourists. I like to go visit their house, except for when I go and visit them, they spit in my food and punch me in the head. Like, I feel like, how are we calling this a nice tourist place? I don't know what they said about it. But like when I skimmed it, it was just like, it was weird. The dark side of tourism in Thailand. And I had already heard people were always talking about how Thailand is like such a wonderful place to visit. But because of colorism, you know, their hate, you know, I had heard that for some black people, I guess some black people are like, oh, I love, you know, Indonesia and Thailand and like all, but some colored people, some black people are like, they treated me like boo-boo. I did not like it. It was not fun for me. It was not nice. So I've always kind of been like, I don't know. Would I go? You know, like if somebody gave me a ticket, I'd probably go. But I'm just saying, would I like spend my money to go? No, because I'm going to all of the 54 countries in Africa. Right after Costa Rica, that's the next thing on my list. Like the disclaimers of drug commercials, side effects may include blah, 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 and could result in death. So call your doctor if you want to try. And that says ayapo yappa. And what I always love about the commercials and trips me out, I don't have a doctor personally, but I thought you were supposed to have like a doctor, you know? So, and then they always say in the commercials, like, tell your doctor what other drugs you're taking. I'm like, don't your doctor know what other drugs you're taking? And then, yeah, it is kind of weird when they say side effects could, you know, include blah, 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 and death. Skin whitening is off the hook there, too, says Sonia C's. Right, like, you know, it's a hatred of blackness. And is there ever, like, isn't that, skin whitening is like you hate black, right? I mean, is there another way to interpret it? I don't know. Okay. So yeah, that's coming off of Google Feed Proxy. Simone Biles slams anti-Nike tweet by Interim USA gymnastics leader. We talked about that. Celebrating Africa's aid workers on the front line. So this is basically saying they ain't got no glamorous job. They be out here just doing the work. Alabama store pulls Pepsi products with NFL logo over anthem protest. Excuse me, I think we kind of talked about this earlier in a way when we were talking about Simone Biles and the the anti-Nike tweet. They pulled Pepsi products with the NFL logo. When the doctor asked me if I'm taking any other drugs, I always say, does meth count? You probably do, because you're just full of jokes. So I don't know what's up with Pepsi. Like, is Pepsi So Pepsi products have the NFL logo on it. So because the NFL logo on it is on it and the people are protesting, the Alabama store, I don't care nothing about no Alabama store. A lot of my clients were old white men in their 60s and older with women at least 40 years their junior from these Asian countries. And see, that's another despair. I mean, we're not just talking about age, we're talking about culture. We talking about wealth. We talking about, and they not taking advantage of them girls. Them girls are trying to take advantage of them too. Them girls may be taking advantage of them because if you ever watch 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Fiance, some of these people are very they're focused on getting to the US. These commercials crack me up, especially the lax music they play. It says when they mention as a possible side effect, says bona fide 1970. Sonia sees they sell their daughters too. How is the royal family? Hey, true royal family. Yeah, so I don't really know. I don't care nothing about no daggone Alabama store owner. I got family in Alabama though, but I don't care nothing about no Pepsi. I don't care nothing about no NFL. I don't even know why did I even bring this up? But I think again we were talking about the subtle, like that some energy is very subtle but very powerful. So we just gonna leave it at that. Self-repairing material plucks carbon from the air. So that's coming off of Engadget. And I told y'all half the times I don't even know what the stories really be about, but they always seem really interesting to me. Like what is it, self-repairing material? Like your, like how you have a tire and it gets a cut in it, like I don't know how these tires always get nails in them, but tires always have nails in them. And so then the material just plucks carbon from the air to repair the tire. Is that what it is that what it means? And then they're saying it plucks the carbon from the air, so that's good because carbon is bad. Like it probably has something to do with global warming. It's not called global warming, it's called something else. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So that's coming off of Engadget, my favorite. This is my favorite blog, and most of the time I don't understand what the heck they be talking about. But it just seems so like interesting. Like that could be like a whole area of subject of study. I could like learn something new. So Engadget gives me hope that I could learn something new. Terrence Nance talks HBO's Random Acts of Flyness being unapologetically black. So there's a new TV show on called Random Acts of Flyness on HBO. Did nobody tell me about it? I don't have HBO. I didn't know nothing about it. I think I might have heard something about it. One thought he was going to just have fun when he got pregnant, but she's managing. Wait, Eddie Murphy. Wait, who? What? Huh? I miss all of that. I don't know who Terrence Nance is, so if anybody has seen Random Acts of Flyness, let me know. Should I be getting HBO? Because when they have HBO on these add-ons where like if you have Hulu, you could add on HBO for only $29.99 a month, it seemed like it don't be a good deal. I'd be like, ew, I don't want no HBO, not for that amount of money. But anyway, because it seemed like it was something I used to watch on HBO. I can't remember now. But I liked it. But I didn't like it enough to pay like $10-$20 a month just to watch that. But maybe when we combine Random Acts of Flyness and the other thing is that Dear White People, and I've watched season 1 and I think I reviewed season 1. Wow, Nikki, his plumbing is still working. No snip there. I can't. I missed it. Okay. The Dear White People, do you remember what HBO stands for? Home Box Office. It makes sense. Yes, carbon does insulate the atmosphere, causing global warming, which causes climate change under the carbon. But Dear White People is back, and I watched and reviewed 1,000 points. 1,000 points. I watched and reviewed the first season of Dear White People, so I want to see the second season of Dear White People. There's so many things that I'm watching and really being interested in on the TV, and that I don't have time to review the way that I used to review anymore. I just realized that. Like, I had decided, instead of just consuming things, every time if I consume something, I'm gonna produce something. I'm gonna produce a video. I'm not just gonna be sitting here consuming stuff. I'm gonna engage, and but I don't have time to do it like I used to do it. And I'm even stressed. I was looking at my thing, and it's like, I'm going to finish up Basketball Wives, Queen Sugar. It's like 3 or 4 shows that I have sitting out here that I started to review and I didn't finish. And you probably can't tell, but it's really stressing me out. And also, I'm stressed out because I said that I was going to, in July, I think it was in July, I said that I was going to be doing a There's Nothing Dear About White People, says Ayapo Yapa. I was going to be doing a review and a recap of a conversation, a chapter by chapter conversation review recap of Octavia Butler's Wild Seed. I haven't forgotten that. It's still on my list. It weighs heavy on me. I mean, look at my shoulders. You see how they're pressed down? That's like the weight of these like open things where I gave my word and said I was going to do something and I didn't do it. And I'm feeling like a way about it. And the way that I'm feeling is not good. So I don't know. I got to figure out, it's like, yes, yeah, I just got to figure it out. But it's so much interesting stuff out here and I am consuming, but I just have to figure out. So that's just a long way of saying we watching random acts of flyness. U.S. Embassy in Australia apologizes for Cookie Monster cat email. Now I'm reading J. California stories now. J. California Cooper, who I love. She's my favorite. She does short stories. But I found a novel by her. Somebody gave me a novel by J. California Cooper. And I haven't read it, but her short stories are really, really good. I love J. California Cooper. Yes, Ayapo Yapa. Okay. U.S. Embassy in Australia apologizes for Cookie Monster cat email. So apparently they haven't had an ambassador, a head of the embassy, for a couple of years, since Zero got into office, I'm guessing. And I guess somebody was training or whatever, and they sent out this thing, and it's like a cat in a Cookie Monster suit being like, come for our pajama jam or something like that. And the people are like, what is it? And they're like, oh, it was just a mistake. So I don't know if that's a reflection of a lack of leadership, or I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Hungary enforces cruel. Speaking of books, I have that July book of the month book club, book collecting dust angels, or right. But I'm gonna tell you this about that it's coming, because you see I'm here. It's only been like 2 days. It's like I'm getting my life together. I'm getting my mind together. I'm working on a plan. I really am. And I have not forgotten about it, and I'm not feeling good about it. So, I feel like I need to close those things out, then close that out. I go by Angels. Gila, really, but I go by Angels. Somebody calls me A Angel, like Angela, A Angel. Hungary enforces cruel ban on rough sleeping. Now, rough sleeping means you're sleeping outside because you're homeless. Gila, like Angela, Gila G, or Jalala. I like Jalala. But I like Gila. A lot of people call me Gila. I would love to see a movie leading to a TV series called Dear Black People, wherein we talk, I didn't see the rest of it. But yeah, I did have some problems with with that. I definitely had some thoughts and problems with that show. And that was kind of like the main thing, that it's like, why are we talking to the dear white people? Why don't we talk to the dear black people? And right, as Ayapo, somebody said, are the white people dear? I mean, I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to understand, because based on experience and observation, I mean, I just might have come to a different conclusion. Yes, building. Yes, yes, yes. So, but I enjoyed as a story, I enjoyed the way it was put together. I enjoyed the way they focused on different characters. I thought it was interesting and I enjoyed it. I did not love it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, it definitely had some challenges, but there were like some interesting moments. And I also think that it's interesting because I think it was a film, book, and movie. And I think I watched the movie, and I'm trying to remember when I started reviewing the show. I think I had just watched the movie, and I can't remember. I don't think I cared for the movie. But I'll have to go back and watch my review because I don't think I cared for the movie. So I didn't read the book, but I just thought it's interesting that they just mining it for all that it's worth. Um, so they have Hungary is like, look, if you sleeping outside, we mad at you. You getting banned. You getting like a lot of these places. It's like, and the people are like, some of the people in Hungary are like, now why are you punishing the people because they don't have no place to live? Like, what's up with that? Which is like a valid question. Like, who do that? We do that here in some of the places in this country. People apparently do it all over the world. So that's what's going on in Hungary. Flight attendant falls from parked plane. I was like, what in the world? I think it was an Air India. I'm like, how you gonna fall from a parked plane? But I think when I skimmed the article, she was trying to close the door, and I guess she just fell out. I guess it's an unusual thing because we never heard of a flight attendant falling from a parked plane. But I'm like, where they do that at? Who fought? What did? Now, it seemed like you would have a system in place for closing the door in such a way that you don't fall out of the plane. And I don't mean her personally. I just mean, airplanes throughout the world. I thought it was very strange. I was like, what? But I guess it doesn't happen very often. So there's always room for a fluke or a freak accident. New Zealand votes tipsy pigeon bird of the year. Abuse of the homeless is the most horrendous form of elitism. That's like when we hear about these older women in Japan, older people like elders stealing food and getting in trouble for stealing food. I'm like, what kind of cruelty is that? If the old people in your society, young people, anybody in your society is hungry, we gonna abuse them. We gonna get them in trouble for being. She saw the meter was her. It was and trying to get to so she could put in a quarter. Said no, bad joke. Um, so we saw an article the other day about birds, I think in Virginia, who were flying around who were a little high because the berries had fermented on the tree. And so especially the younger ones couldn't handle the fermentation. So they were like a little high and they were flying in the windows and stuff. And apparently the same thing happens regularly in New Zealand because New Zealand votes the tipsy pigeon bird of the year. But I don't think it was just like a tipsy pigeon. I think it's like this whole like not crew, but like genus, species, this whole type of pigeon is inclined to be tipsy, and they were voted the bird of the year. Or maybe not. I don't know. But it was a pretty bird. Does that count for anything? But I was just like, who knew about all these birds getting high? Birds flying high. You know how I feel. You wanted some of that R&B, that real bad. Bad meaning good singing. Sonya sees. Hurricane Michael, dozens still missing on Florida coast. The town they got, like, now I used to travel the Gulf Coast because I lived in Hattiesburg, and you would like drive down to the coast and you could like go to different places. Like it was like, to the beach. Was it Mexico City, whatever this Mexico place was that they say got wiped out? I never ever heard of it. All of the other places along the coast I heard of, but this place I never heard of. But yeah. So prayers out, to the people who are dealing all over the world, in Florida, France, we heard today, with natural disasters, with personal tragedies, with death and dying, and and I guess shout outs to all of the people who are being born today. Shout outs to all of the people who are like just feeling blessings. Like, gosh, blessings are just chasing me down. I guess shout out there. To somebody's best day is somebody's worst day. Somebody's worst day is somebody else's best day. And I guess that's just part of the wheel of fortune, the circle of life. Some of us is gonna be living, some of us is gonna be dying, some of us is gonna be high, some of us it's gonna be a season. It's a season for everything. Change. Isn't that a song? Change something. But you know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it don't be fun when it's your time to be low and when it be cold where you know, but yeah, just prayers out to all of us so we just keep it in perspective and keep our equanimity. Buckethead, Buckethead, the bear cub's head freed from a jar after 3 days. So I guess they called this bear cub Buckethead because the bear cub got stuck in a plastic jar, and he was in this plastic jar for like 3 days. And it looked like, you know, like if you go to Kroger or something and they have their big bulk section and they might have a big old jar of mayonnaise. It looked like that size. I'm like, how did the thing breathe in there for 3 days? Because it was just like covering it was weird. But anyway, it was freed after 3 days. Buckethead the bear cub. I know y'all was wondering, whatever happened to Buckethead the bear cub? And now you know. Vincent Company's father becomes Belgium's first black mayor. I think I got some chocolate or something in Belgium. I don't know. Were we talking about Belgium the other day? No, that was another country. So I don't know who Vincent Company is, but apparently he's famous enough that we're not even referring to his father by name. We just calling him Vincent Company's daddy. Vincent Company's father becomes Belgium's first black mayor. In 2018, Belgium has their first black mayor. Are there black folks in Belgium? I guess so. Vincent Company and his daddy, at least the two of them, maybe the mama. Hunger is technically a matter of societal choice. Fruit trees, berries, vegetables, nuts, herbs, etc. could be theoretically grown. I think that's Bonafide 1970 talking about that. Right. And what society choose like it's a mess. I mean, why are we choosing that? So I don't know who Vincent Company is, do you? But yeah, I guess we'd give him some 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 claps for Vincent Company's pappy, the first mayor of Belgium. Chocolate hands from Belgium, says Nikki. Yep, can theoretically be grown anywhere you have soil. I ate a waffle there when I went just so I could say I did. It was actually a very good waffle, if I remember correctly, says Ayapo Yapa. Oh, in Belgium, they're known for waffles. But instead of doing that, the government wants to continue to fortify the likes of Monsanto, says Bonafide 1970. Right, like in Hattiesburg, I remember in the community I was in, they were like, oh, they got this grant and they had all of this money for trees. And I was like, well, all of the trees should be like fruit and like nut trees because in Hattiesburg, I think there are like, I don't like these is it pecans? Wherever, you know, down south, you get these nuts that fall from the trees, but they don't fall every year from every tree. So it seemed like every 2 or 3 years, Illuminati numbers. You've discovered my secret. I'm a member of the Illuminati. Don't I have to make a sacrifice or a pledge to something to get all the money and the fame? I'm the low-key member of the Illuminati with 532 subscribers. That's because this is the real secret low-key Illuminati symbol. See, you don't know nothing about that. I do like 13 and 33. Are those Illuminati numbers? Nicaraguan police arrest demonstrators amid crackdown. Sister Angela, I just wanted to say hi real quick. I'm at work. Hey, Ron Redbird. Dang, I hadn't been on to see any lives. I watched someone take this video and cut it up, and then ominous music behind it with black and white stills. They'll show me like eating Bella's because I always call her back thighs drumsticks. Y'all know I'm a vegetarian, but I always be telling her I'm getting them good and fat so I can cut them up and eat them. Being fab as usual. Hey, Kendra, much love to everyone in the chat. I'm talking about the chocolate candy shaped hands that make reference to cruelty. Oh, of Leopold cutting off the hands of Africans. See, I don't know anything about the child. They have them in Belgium? Oh my gosh. Hey, Kendra, what's up? Oh my gosh. Because, right, Leopold in the Congo. It's like it seemed like as soon as you out here as a black person laughing and trying to like enjoy the world, it's gonna be some skit. You know what I mean? Like as soon as you watching the TV show or a movie, you're like, then it's gonna be somebody gonna be like, you know that show, and you be like, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I don't know anything about the chocolate hands. I'll have to look that up. So what, but what was interesting to me about the Nicaragua police arrest demonstrators amid crackdown is that Belgium chocolate is a thing. Not sure about the hands, says IC. Is that Nicaragua is right next to Costa Rica, and so the Costa Rican president said something. I don't know what the person said. He might have said, can we all just get along? And the Nicaraguan people were like, shut your mouth, Costa Rica president. And I'm like, look now, we don't want no mess and no confusion around Costa Rica. Ready to go visit. My peoples is there now. We gonna be, let's keep it cool. Settle down, settle down. The whole world things, the illusion of stability is an illusion. Maybe stability isn't an illusion. Maybe instability is an illusion. Maybe it's all like at peace with God. Yeah, I don't know. Killjoy. um, okay. So I don't know what's going on, but just prayers out in Nicaragua and prayer. I feel like anybody who is fighting for justice, anybody who's trying to live a just and dignified life, anybody who's trying to live peacefully and be kind and do the right thing, just prayers out for all of us. Just prayers out. Chicago sues Trump administration again over grants. So I think the Justice Department is supposed to be giving the Chicago some money, and the Keebler elf, what's the man's name? I shouldn't call him out of his name. But y'all know Sessions, Jefferson Beauregard Sessions, and his Justice Department, KKK, openly KKK Justice Department are like, no, we ain't giving no money to Chicago. And Trump is like, no, we ain't giving no money to Chicago. So Chicago is suing. We're gonna sue because it's right and it's just. And Jeff Beauregard Sessions and Zero are like, who gonna check me, boo? You can sue all you want. It's true though. What you said about Belgium chocolates, horrible. Dang. Okay. Apple buys digital talent scout for music. So it's some sort of app. That Apple has bought that can like mine the internet and kind of pay attention to like who's getting views, like maybe on like YouTube or Apple Music, or I don't really know how it works. And then this app says that it can find out who's going to be, it's kind of like gambling. Like in the music industry, it's almost like a gamble. Like you're like, that person is going to be a star. And then these poor music companies invest in these people and they don't know if they're going to get their money back because maybe they won't be a star. But so it's kind of like gambling. It's a gamble. They just don't know if they're going to get their money back. That's why you hear about all these music companies going out of business, because they done gambled on all these rich, wealthy musical stars who just make all of this money. And we always hear about them just like getting paid, staying paid, dying rich, 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 rich. But anyway, so this app can figure out who really gonna be a star. It says based on, before they actually blow up, it can figure it out. So Apple has bought this digital talent scout. It's a computer that's like an A&R. What's A&R? Artist, A&D, artist development. It's like the stock market. Yeah, sort of, kind of. Except for it seems like the musicians always lose. It's like a casino. It's like the house always wins in a casino, doesn't it? Remember when that woman remember when that woman won in the casino? Like she pulled the thing and it was like ding, ding, ding. She's like, oh my God, I won. And they were like, nah, the machine is broken, but we'll give you a steak dinner. And they only offered her a steak dinner after she like, what you mean the machine is broken? It says I won $1,000,000. And they like, oh no, the machine is broken. We ain't giving you nothing. And she's like, I protest. And they like, okay, we gonna give you a steak dinner. Y'all remember that story? It was like about a year or 2 years ago. I was like, that is really, really crazy. That is really crazy. How you gonna be at the casino? I don't go to the casino, but I mean, that's like a contract. It wasn't none of the machine that said to do they. But if she wins, she win. Not they say, we ain't gonna pay you nothing. Did they give her any sides with that? Nah. Well, they said a steak dinner. I think it was a steak dinner. They like, I tell you what, we not gonna give you $1,000,000. We gonna give you $20 that you can spend in our restaurant. Palm, like as in Palm Pilot. Like remember before BlackBerry, there was Palm Pilot. Palm is back, sort of, and it built a tiny smartphone sidekick. It seemed like I heard of a sidekick before, but they're saying this sidekick is like, but she had to pay for her own drinks, says Yapo Yappa. It seems like apparently a sidekick is like when you don't want to carry your whole smartphone with you, you just carry the little sidekick with you. I guess smartphones have gotten really big. I don't have a big one, but I guess if you don't want to carry a big one, then a sidekick you could carry with you. So that's what Palm is coming. I've been using Palm for years. I feel like that's a joke, but I'm afraid to. I'm not even going to entertain that. France weather red alert as flash floods kill 13 in Southwest. So again, prayers out. We didn't have a number before, but now we have a number 13 at as of this morning. I think it was this morning at 8:12. 13 had made their transition. But I'm kind of like, I just kind of feel a way about all of these European countries and Kerala floods. Now Kerala is in the southern part of India. I've been to Kerala floods. So when you see stories about, yes, the sidekick was put out by Motorola years ago, but this is like they're using sidekick not like with a capital S but with a lowercase s, like it's a sidekick phone, like a buddy phone. That would look weird. Tribal chief who refuses to leave the forest. So I guess it's something going on weather-wise in the Kerala area, in the forest area, and the chief is like, I'm not leaving my people, I'm not leaving my home. I wonder if they know anything about global climate change. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway. 71 years ago, Chuck Yeager smashed the sound barrier. Here's what it was like on the famous flight. The sound barrier. The sonic wall. Remember the sonic wall? I don't remember because 71 years ago would have been well before my time, but I've heard of this. Isn't it the sonic wall? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, here's what it was like on the famous flight. It's going down. Taylor Page to play Zola in film, a viral Twitter saga. So I can't remember like the whole story of Zola, but I did read Zola on Twitter and I just thought it was really interesting because back then I remember sonic booms. Sonic booms. It's been a while since I heard one. You used to hear sonic booms? I'm gonna have to research that. So anyway, I was just fascinated as a writer, as someone who, this person had written a whole story one tweet at a time, and a tweet is like 120 characters. So like, it was like the people on Twitter were like reading the story, and it was like going viral, and it was like being shared, and we were like all talking about it. And then by the time I read it, it was already compiled into an article and everything, so I could like read it. But I was like, oh my gosh, they wrote this whole story one tweet at a time. It was like a Black woman. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. And the people are like, we gonna make a movie out of this. and it's going down. Taylor Page, who I don't know who that is to play Zola in the film, a viral Twitter saga. I think the woman went to Las Vegas and she was a stripper and she was with some white people, or maybe that was another story later. Oh yes, please. Used to something. I don't know what Ayapo was saying. So Zola the film, remember that from Twitter? I'll probably go out of my way to watch it just because I'm like, oh, they wrote a book, they wrote a story like one tweet at a time, and it was relatively engaging from what I remember. It engaged me. Yemen could be the worst famine in 100 years. Wow. So prayers out to Yemen. It's funny because you hear about people starving and being hungry. We were talking about starvation being a societal choice and stuff, but like for some reason the use of the word famine, I'm just kind of like famine. It just kind of caught my attention. Like I don't know, a famine seems like something out of biblical times. Last time I heard the term sonic boom was one of the video games Street Fighter, says Bonafide. That seemed like that could be the name of a rap group. We're Sonic Boom, Boom, Boom. Oh, or maybe like a girls group. We're Sonic Boom, 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 Boom. You know, I like Sonic Boom, but it's probably like very dated. Black Girl Magic. Hashtag Black Girl Magic. Issa Rae to star in romantic comedy American Princess. No arrest after far-right group members attack protesters. Hey, I used to hear them all the time. It was kind of freaky. Sonic booms. No arrest after far-right group members attack protesters outside Manhattan GOP club. Peace, Information Man Show. So they say the cops was out there. What was the name of the group? I read the article. They called the Wild Boys or the Dirty Boys or the Savage Boys or something. I don't know. It's some group of, it's boys something. And they was beating the people and the police was right there and the police was just like, we don't see anything wrong. And the people are like, how could the police not arrest the people for beating? And I'm like, have y'all met the police? I actually didn't say that, but somebody tweeted it. They like, have y'all met the police? And I'm like, yeah, have y'all met the police? Why we shocked? That's cops doing copping. That's what they do. Okay. So no arrest, and we're just shocked and surprised and appalled because it's the same skit, a different day. SSDD. It seemed like it was enough. It's not news. It's not news. The Beastie Boys to men at work. I don't know what that means. Staff meeting surprise. I don't remember what the staff meet. The surprise was a snake. I don't know how the snake got at the meeting. I can't remember. 3 dead as plane crashes into crowd in Germany. So prayers out to the 3 dead and their family and community. Mogadishu bombings. Man executed on Somalia blast anniversary. They were NYPD in training. The Beastie Boys to men at work. Come on, work with me here. I don't understand your brand of humor, Ayapo. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Just chat with the people. Oh, Kendra got it. Okay. So yeah. Pentagon breach. Pentagon data breach compromises up to 30,000 workers. It's like every month, isn't it? Like probably about 12 big breaches a year, at least 12 big breaches a year. So this one was the Pentagon data breach of the workers. Their information was compromised. Probably a social security number. Not arrest. Social security number. They addresses. Probably information about where their retirement information is going, their banking information. That's what happened. Storm Leslie, Portugal, hit by hurricane force winds. Yeah, when I read that article, I was thinking about, these damn colonizing countries and how I don't care. And I hope that the white people get punished, the children of the descendants of the people, not like the black and brown people. But I mean, yeah, that's how I felt. But anyway, prayers out to Portugal. They're getting too big for their breeches, says Ayapa Yapa. Puffin Patrol, the children saving Iceland's puffins. I guess they're animals. I don't know why I picked that story. A writer named on Google spreadsheet of media men accused of sexual misconduct is suing the woman who created it. He's like, you put my name on the list as a sexual predator, so I'm suing you for libel. Is it libel? What's the other thing when it's like a lie? One is libel and it's two of them, but anyway, he's suing her. The American pastor freed from Turkey has arrived in the U.S. and prayed with Trump in the Oval Office. Slander and libel. Yeah, so I guess that's what he's suing her for. Edward Curtis, was this the most ambitious photo project ever? No prayers for Portugal. Screw them, says Bonafide 1970. Yeah. Somalia truck bomb. My husband's body was never found. I've been an abortion doula 2,000 times. So, slander. Okay, so I've heard of doulas like helping women to get through the birth process. This person is like, she's a doula. She helps puffins, the birds. I think they are birds. I think they were animals. I just didn't click the probably the picture was cute. That's probably how it ended up in my news feed. I was like, oh, cute picture, click. And now I'm like, what the hell is this doing here? I don't know. Probably it was a cute picture. Are they cute, puffins, the birds? I don't know. So she says that, she's around. She says as a doula, the way I understood it is a doula is there to support the mother or support the person who is the mother. Or I guess if you're having an abortion, I guess you are a mother and you're unbecoming a mother. And so she says that like a lot of times the women are like, want to talk to her about their other children. She said it's a lot of them who have other children and they feel like they can't afford to take care of, to add another child to the children that they have. She just says that she gets all kinds of things. But I was just kind of like, wow, like a doula who works with abortions, like, and I guess the doulas are supposed to be there for the women, but it was just kind of like, I just was like, I mean, that was just like a whole new concept for me. She's the Dr. Kevorkian version of a doula. Right. I mean, it says Bonafide 1970. That was just interesting. And I skimmed the article. I didn't like study it, but I did read it probably while I was doing something else. An online decency moderator's advice: blur your eyes. So this is kind of talking about the people who whose job it is to like MySpace or like Facebook or Twitter, like when you say this is obscene, this is racist, this is jacked up, they're the people who like review the stuff and decide whether it's racist, obscene, jacked up. And like they're talking about like when they started and even now they don't really have any training, they don't really have a good support system. They have some kind of support systems in place, but they just see like the worst of humanity and how it's just really like kind of a jacked up type of situation to be in. Like it's not really for everybody. And I think they might have said something like usually they don't have younger people do it, but now I can't remember. Canada cannabis legalization. We know the world is watching. So Canada trying to legalize weed. I didn't know the world is watching them. Okay. Death penalty. How many countries still have it? Do you know? How many countries are there in the world? Pakistan's war on street crime. The police killed our precious daughter. So this article was kind of talking about how the way I understand it from what I can remember, they're basically saying just like how, some people would say that the United States is like a police state and the cops just be out here doing whatever they want, especially if your skin is black and brown, they could just do whatever they want to you. That's how, like Pakistan, the cops just be out here just doing the most, and nobody who gonna check me, boo. That's how the cops are. Like, what you gonna do? Um, so I think the police were like, they felt like traffic wasn't moving quickly enough, and they just started like shooting, like move along, and the child got killed, and the police are like, oh well. I think that's the story. I might be conflating two stories in my mind, but I think that that's the story. Okay, Apple is using backpacks to collect map data in San Francisco. So these are not actually, marijuana has been legal in Canada, says Bonafide. Oh, well, what's the article? What's the Canada cannabis legalization? We know the world is watching. I'm just reading the headline, Bona. I mean, gosh, I don't know. All over Canada? I don't know. So there, it's not just like regular backpacks they're using, but basically what it's saying is that Apple Maps is trying to like get up there with Google Maps, because I guess that Google Maps, they will send the drones over. I have seen the cars driving down the street getting information for the maps, and apparently Google will put people on the street and be like, walk up and down these streets and get this information, so that when you go to Google Maps, you can like hit walking, you can hit train or public transportation, you can hit driving, and they'll tell you how to go, and they'll tell you what's up. And so Apple, they put some people on the ground with special backpacks so they could get that information, so they could compete with Google too. That's what I think this article was about. Pixel Buds live translations work with Google Assistant headphones. I don't even know. I don't care. I don't even know why that's. Three untapped opportunities wearables present to health insurers, providers, and employers. I don't care nothing about no health insurance. Oh, who put that in there? I don't know why that's in there. Something was probably interesting at the time. Nepal storm. You know what it is? I'm hungry. I'm like, I ain't interested in this old story. Who don't nobody care about that? Next. Because we've been here an hour and 40 minutes. Nepal storm kills climbers on Himalayan peak Gurja. So I guess prayers out to the people. This whole mountain climbing thing, I think that it's kind of like I have mixed feelings about it, because I've never climbed a mountain, and I've never been interested in climbing a mountain, and it seems cold. Mountain climbing seems like a cold endeavor to me, so it does not appeal to me. And at first I was kind of like, oh, jumping out of like these daredevil type things, like climbing a mountain or jumping out of a helicopter. But then I've done some things where your adrenaline gets going, and I'm like, ooh, like I might understand the appeal, sort of, kind of, but I don't know, but I don't know. I got so much stuff that I need to worry about, like just like here, like bring it in. It's like, am I going to be climbing any mountains and worrying about trying to stay alive and putting myself in a situation where I got to worry about trying to stay alive? Like jumping out of a helicopter or rappelling off of a building. I mean, I don't. But prayers out to those people, I guess, who chose to be in that situation. And I guess, yeah, I think I have mixed feelings about the whole thing, I guess. Teenage Engineering reluctantly adds Bluetooth audio to OD11 speaker. So Teenage Engineering is a company, and they have an OD11 speaker, which people say is really, really good. But they did not want to add Bluetooth audio, because they say the Bluetooth, like our regular stuff is like up here, and the Bluetooth audio is here. And we just like up here. We're not interested. And the people are like, we want the Bluetooth audio. And so they reluctantly added it. um Kangaroo launches savage attack on family in Queensland. We were talking about Queensland the last time we talked. What's up with Queensland? A kangaroo launched a savage attack? Are kangaroos known for being like, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of do kangaroos normally attack people? You hear of lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but kangaroos, not. I don't know much about them. We just know the pouch. And they hop. Why would they want to engineer teenagers? Mountain climbing is dangerous, cold, and low oxygen. It's crazy, but some people do it just to say that they've done it. says Bonafide. Jamal Khashoggi, UK and US could boycott Saudi conference. I was kind of sort of following the story because this is the journalist. Enjoy the rest of your day, family. Peace, Talisa. This is the journalist who was this is the one who I was like, oh, it's so sad that his fiance, and then I was like, I don't know nothing about him. Maybe I shouldn't be sad. Maybe I don't know. But I've kind of casually been following the story. Gotta go attend a meeting. Oh, that's good. Do your business, girl. I'm just sitting here in my hoodie. I'm not attending any meetings or anything. I'm going to have a meeting with some food soon. Oh, I'm going to have a salad. To Lisa Ray, be safe, dear. Oh, in that meeting, these kangaroos have had enough. I know. Storm Leslie, Portugal hit by hurricane force winds. We talked about that. Ironman winner brushes off jellyfish sting. Now the Ironman, I think this is one of these races where you is it a triathlon where you bike and swim and run? I think the Ironman is like a triathlon, but I'm not sure. But the winner got stung by a jellyfish. I think that's dangerous. And he just brushed it off because he's like, I'm an Iron Man, I guess. I don't know. Bavaria conservatives fear losing majority. Turkey migrants, lorry crash in Izmir kills 19. So prayers out to the lorry crash survivors. Salvadorians celebrate ahead of not the survivors, but the people who were killed in the lorry crash. Excuse me. Salvadorians celebrate ahead of Oscar Romero canonization. So I don't know who Oscar Romero is, but he's about to be made a saint. They're canonizing him. I just think the whole idea of making somebody a saint is really interesting to me. I feel like as Black people, we should have people that we make saints. Like we declare Muhammad Ali to be a saint, Saint Muhammad, Saint Ali, because he was just out here for the people, power to the people. We gonna canonize him. I don't know if canonizing is the right term. Yes, it's a triathlon held in Hawaii, I believe, says Bonafide. Talk about the Iron Man. So I just think the whole idea of making somebody a saint, like he's a saint, or she's a saint. I just think I'm fascinated by it. In my understanding of some spiritual systems is that there's God, and then there are gods, and then there are the ancestors, and there's the rest of us. And so I feel like they're taking regular people and they're making them demigods, like saints, like you were Saint Angela. I just what's the process? I'm fascinated. So that's why Saint Marcus Garvey, but we can't use saint. We got to use, but whatever, not ancestor, but something yes. And Marcus Garvey was a bad, he had some quirks, but don't we all? That doesn't take away from the power and the majesty, St. Louis, the power and the majesty and the awesomeness and the work that he did and the impact that he had and the inspiration that he was. I'm here for it. Stephen Hawking's last paper on black holes is now online. Yes, we need to glorify our greatest. Yes. So we talked about Stephen Hawking's a little bit earlier. Police told to avoid looking at recent iPhones to avoid lockouts. I guess if you look at them, then the phone thinks you're trying to turn it on. And so if they look at it too much, trying to figure out how to break the code, then it just lock you out. How your thing will be look, you put your code in wrong once, you got 9 more tries. Oh, you don't put it in wrong 3 times, you got 7 more tries. After 7 more times, we're going to lock you out and you ain't going to be able to get into this phone. So that's what happens when the police keep looking. So the police are told to avoid looking at the iPhones to avoid lockouts. Houston teacher fired for racist comments caught on camera. That's coming off the Griot if you're interested in that story. NASA's Chandra telescope follows Hubble into a shutdown. I tried to turn on my iPhone. Siri said, "Not tonight. I have a headache." I'm hungry. And that's the end. That is the end. Woo! It's so exciting. It is in divine order that we are all here together, whether live or virtually. I really appreciate you being here and being a part of this. It would not have been the same without your vibration, your commentary, your comments. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and drop your comments in the comments. Nope, keep going. I don't have any more stories, Brother Ayapo. I don't have any more stories. You got some stories? If you have good news, anything exciting that's going on for you personally, like did you combine your locks together? I mean, what's up? I'm thinking that my hair is like long enough now that I could do some twists, you know, so I might do some protective styling. That's good news. Whatever good news you got personally going on in your family and community, share that, drop that in the comments. Anything that you are looking forward to, drop that in the comments. We excited because we are thank you, Kendra. Yay. We're excited because we're here today. And we're here because of we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. Got avocado oil in your hair? No, I don't have any avocado oil. I have olive oil and castor oil, but I do like olive oil. I felt so rejected. So we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. So we give thanks for that, and we celebrate them, and we honor them for all of their work, and all of their love, and all of their survival, and all their creativity and brilliance and wonderfulness. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. You are the #1 stunner. So you know what you got to do, right? You don't have to leave channel Be Fabulous You. Go on and check out some of my reviews, not just not news, but TV reviews, book reviews, movie reviews. Somebody watched my Annie review the other day and made a comment. You don't have to leave the channel. You don't even have to leave YouTube. Great show, Angela. Time well spent. I love you. Is that what you said? You don't have to leave, channel Be Fabulous You. You don't have to leave new zoo reviews. What's the new zoo? You don't have to leave YouTube, but you know what you got to do. We got to get out of this stream, this live stream. If you came in late, you can loop back around and watch what you missed. If you had to leave early or come and go, you can. It's going to be uploaded onto the channel. Seke Cortona. I think Cortona must be like from context. It seemed like Cortona. I knew you wouldn't get it when I wrote it. New zoo reviews. Indeed, wonderful show. Thumbs up this video, everyone. I think Cortona must be like Siri. That's what I was thinking. You know, I'm slow. I don't get all these sophisticated, highfalutin jokes y'all be making. I don't know nothing about that. But again, you know what you got to do. In addition to you can't stay here. We got to get the heck out of this stream. But you've got to. Hey. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. I don't know nothing about new zoo review. By you being an older gentleman, you know about stuff that we don't know. Who you gonna be if we ain't we? Hey, Kendra. Ah, okay. If you ain't you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. Peace. Are you cursing, sir? Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm learning. Peace. I think that's it. Miss Belaruski, she's standing up. She ready. She heard the song. Who you gonna be if you ain't you? Who we gonna be if we ain't we? Who you gonna me. Peace. Don't be shamed.